Hi, Faith family. I am coming to you from one of my favorite parks that I live by. I'm super excited to give this word. It was something that the Lord dropped on my spirit as I was driving over here, and I think it's going to help a lot of women in their searching time, in their desires of their heart for kingdom marriage and for God to reveal their future husband to them and bring their kingdom spouse into their life. And so how I knew the man of God that the Lord had for me was cultivated through my prayer life. So God knew not only the desires of my heart, but he also knew my prayers. He heard my prayers, and he also heard the prayers of my kingdom husband. And I want to give this testimony about when the Lord put it on my heart to start praying for my kingdom spouse. I wasn't raised in a household. I was raised in a pretty liberal Episcopal church. So the idea of praying for your future husband was not ever something that I was taught at a young age. I believe my kingdom spouse did pray for his future wife. He was raised in church, growing up, and I believe that, with his upbringing, he had a little bit more of that wisdom and that insight at a younger age to pray for the woman that I am in his life. And I think it's so beautiful to think about that. So the Lord was answering his prayers, but the Lord was also answering mine and cultivating in me a prayer life for my future husband. So this happened years ago. This happened in 2018, and I was traveling through Italy. I was traveling through Europe with a girlfriend, and I was in Sorrento. And this was in September of 2018. And I specifically remember an evening when we were walking through the village back to our boutique hotel. We were staying at a really cute boutique motel in Sorrento. And if you don't know where Sorrento is, look it up. It's on the Amalfi coastline. So it's kind of near Portofino. It's a little bit more north than that. Lots of lemons, limoncello. Just very beautiful, quaint little beach town, really close to the coast off the Isle of Capri. And so we were in just a really beautiful place, a very romantic place, right? So wherever you go, there's going to be a hovering of a spirit over that place. And it was a very romantic time. Italy, I had this moment in Sorrento, and then I also had another prophetic moment. The Lord spoke to me in Rome, and Rome is very romantic and very much a place of inheritance and godly lineage, and it's also a place of great warfare, right? Because the Vatican's there. But in Rome specifically, I had a different experience in the Vatican when I was there, and I had a different experience when I was in Rome. And Rome, woo, I did not know I would love Rome. I loved Rome. So we were walking home one night in Sorrento back to our hotel, and it's very romantic. They give out roses. People sell little roses by the hand, right? When you're out to eat or you're out at a restaurant, trying to kindle that romance at the tables with, man and wife or whatever. And so we'd seen a couple of these guys selling roses. But this particular evening, we were walking back to the hotel. Me and my girlfriend, we found a white rose, which is the symbol of purity, which is the symbol of also a bride, right? Clothed in white without spot, blemish, or wrinkle. So we found this white rose just on the sidewalk on our way back to our hotel. And we were like, oh, we haven't seen any white roses. Nobody's been handing out white roses. How beautiful is this? And so we had that happen. And then just a few steps later, we found another one. So we found two. They must have been from a wedding. They must have been from a bouquet. So we found two of these on our way home. And I heard that evening, I heard very clearly the Lord say to me, I have located your future husband. This was September 12th or September 13th of 2018. So if my kingdom spouse is watching this, go back to that time in your life and recall where you were at. Because when the Lord spoke that to me, I had no idea who he was. But because what God said, he said, I've located him. And so when he said that, I envisioned a globe, because I was all the way in Italy, right? So I was picturing, like, where on this map of the globe could the location of my kingdom spouse be? Could my future husband be? I had never heard God say that to me before. And he confirmed it with the 2 white roses. And so I had kind of forgotten, and we were in Rome, I want to say 3 or 4 days later, we finally went back to Rome and spent a whole day in Rome, just like going to different places. I loved that day. I loved it. But specifically, I visited a cathedral, and I'm going to have to list it below because I can't remember it off the top of my head. But I was kneeling down and praying in the little private area where you go in and you pray, and amongst all the other people there. And at that point in my life, a lot of my prayers, this is how you know, women, this is how you know if your life is supposed to be a life sold out to God, or if your life is going to be a life as a wife, having a husband and having children, having a family, being a family unit, right? And God's perfect order and perfect design is husband and wife and the children, because God's image is in man and woman together. So I was humble at this point in my life. I was very, very humble. I had prayers to God about having a husband. He spoke that to me a couple days prior. And yet I was still willing to sacrifice whatever God had for me in my life. I was willing to give it up to him. Now, mind you, I had been through abusive relationships, sexually abusive relationships, a domestic violent relationship that turned into an engagement. I was going to get married to this man. I had turned down an engagement. Had to quit working for my boss, so I didn't have a job at this point, but I was still traveling. It was like my treat to myself for what I was enduring. I had endured and how much hard work I had gone through. So this was September of 2018. And I remember it so strongly. I was praying so passionately to the Lord. And my prayer was just, Lord, have mercy on me. Have mercy on me, your daughter. I just pray, have mercy on me, Lord. I'm a sinner. I don't know what else to pray. Have mercy on me. Look at my heart. And the Lord, he said very sternly to me, he said, Sarah, stop praying that. And I was like, I opened my eyes because I was like, you want me to stop praying? And he was like, you have way more important things to pray for. You need to stop praying that. You have mercy. And I heard it so clear. And I knew in my heart, because what he had said to me a couple days earlier was, I have located your future husband. I've located him. And I just knew, I was like, this is the confirmation. I need to cultivate my future marriage in my new prayer life that the Lord is unctioning and calling forth to me in this time. And it was so profound, because why would God tell somebody to stop praying, have mercy on me and have mercy on other sinners? Why would God say that? Because you, woman of God, need to learn how to pray, how to fight for your future husband in prayer. This whole pandemic, these whole last 3 years, I have fought for my future husband in prayer. And it has come very naturally to me, because I am a woman humbled before God in prayer. I'm an intercessor. And I love it. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I know that my life is called to be that for my future husband, to be that for him. And this man, you know, when we were together in our time together, I said, I pray for you a lot. I pray for you every day. And he said, I know, I appreciate it. I like your prayers. I need them. And so that was confirmation. Everything about your future marriage, women of God, is cultivated in your prayers. I love you all. I pray this message blesses you.